Hello, my kitty loving friends. Thanks for tuning into this episode of 19 Cats and Counting. We are super excited. You know, we love a cat lady, but we love it even more when the cat lady is a man. Cat lady Justin Donne is on with us. And as soon as we come back from the sponsored ad, we will introduce you. Welcome back to 19 Cats and Counting. I am your co-host, Linda Hall, here with my lovely BFF, business partner, work wife, and whatever else you are, Rita Reimers.
How are you, baby? I'm here. My work
You're
wife.
Yes,
since
darling.
I don't have a husband anymore, I can have a work wife.
Yeah. Well, I do have a husband, and he still says he's the one who said you were my work wife.
I know. Well, for those of you who are keeping score, I'm now down to 17 cats. Yeah, we lost Scooter last week, but you know, he would have died in the shelter had I not taken him and Missy in. So he had a good year and a half of love that he wouldn't have gotten otherwise. He was a happy boy when
they were dying in that shelter. They were old. Their human mother had passed, and you gave him everything. So let's switch to happier stuff.
Yes,
let's
meet
Justin.
To talk to cat lady Justin.
Yes,
welcome, kitty boss.
The kitty boss. Yes,
thank you. Condolences, and thank you for welcoming me.
I have to ask you the first question I need to ask you, Justin. The kitty boss. Does that mean you are the boss of kitties, or you accept that kitties are your boss?
That's a great question. See, the book that I've written that's coming out soon, it's not out now, is called The Kitty Boss. Subtitle, because who's the boss really? You or Kitty?
Ding, ding, ding. That's it.
Good answer. Good answer. Yay.
So does your book answer that question?
You know, it's a rhetorical question because first of all, I think we all know the answer to that one.
Yeah.
And secondly, it's not that you have to become subservient and submissive to your cats.
Right.
It's a symbiotic relationship that's developed over the eons that we've been together. Sure. It's a wonderful relationship, but we are not submissive and subservient to the cats. Although I do worship my cats.
True.
It's not that. So it's kind of a play. It's kind of a fun thing. The cat is boss in many, many, many ways, but you are still the master, the boss, whatever you want to call it, in many, many, many ways.
But they take priority. And I think that's what it is. We were doing a behavior session one day, and the lady was almost apologetic about how she has to rearrange her life around the cat. And I had purposely positioned my chair in such a way that you couldn't see the end of my bed. And I said, okay, here, I'm going to admit it to you. The cat would not move. I made the bed around it, and I moved my chair and showed her there's a cat, and this covers kind of around it. I'm like,
you also acquiesced and put a litter box in your bedroom, as did I, because they demanded it.
I swore I wasn't gonna have a litter box in my bedroom. There's a litter box in my bedroom.
Right behind your shoulder.
So the people that I envision would like to be part of the Kitty Boss and benefit from the book really are not the magnificent rescuers who or the behaviorists, the people who really take in a abused cat or a cat that is difficult and a big challenge, because those are remarkable and amazing people. But in my mission to get millions more cats into loving homes, what I want to do is break down the barriers for people like my mom and my dad, who for a long time thought it's either too expensive or it's too difficult or too much of a challenge to get a cat. So I'm saying, actually, no, what I can show you is the easy way to have a cat, to make it really easy. It doesn't have to be expensive. Of course, if you do everything I do, it might be expensive, but all of it's optional. But what I'm showing people is that it can be easy. You don't have to you can, but you don't have to turn your life upside down. You don't have to create a cat superhighway and completely remodel your home.
Right.
I want one, but
you don't have to. It's
exactly.
Because if somebody's sitting there thinking, I can't afford that because of time, because of money, because of, I don't want to completely destroy my home. What I'm trying to do is show those busy professionals, people who think they can't afford it, and say, well, actually, you can. And it's easy. And that's what I'm aiming at. So it's not the rescuing. I'm not showing that. That's a brilliant thing. And definitely lots of cats need that. But to scale it to the level I've got in mind, I'm trying to show all those people who are hesitating to push them over the edge and say, well, actually, go ahead and get one. Because my mom did.
Yes.
After maybe a decade or two, 12 years without a cat. Because we always had cats growing up, but then she moved back home to Paris. She's some half French.
Wow.
And she didn't get a cat for like 12 years. And the lockdowns kind of convinced her to say, well, I really, and so finally she got a cat. She said, I should have gotten a cat a long time ago and listened to you. Because it's all those things that she thought were actually
exactly
baloney, and she can afford it. She's got the time. She's got everything she needs. And she's absolutely in love with little Ondine. That's the name of the cat.
That's great.
Absolutely in love. And it's a perfect cat.
Oh, I love it.
That's great.
We tell people, we were rearranging bedrooms about a year ago, and I had a stand that my TV was on that standing up probably came about to my chest level. And I was actually thinking about pitching it. And then I thought, no, I'm going to repurpose this. And I put it in the hallway, used it as cat cabinet, cat food, cat litter, cat supplements are all in there. Well, because it's taller, I stuck a blanket on it and a couple cat beds. Cats think that's the greatest thing on earth. Didn't cost me a penny, right? You don't have to get, a box is as great as a cubby.
Oh, my cats love those chewy boxes. Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes those boxes are better than cubbies, because I've spent money on cat stuff and they prefer the packaging or the box.
It's
true story.
100% true. Yes. There's so many things that we can do that
and they're
that are
just
great that cats love.
Absolutely. And they're just naughty enough. For example, like you could spend a lot of money if you want on elaborate cat trees, or you could let go of your attachment to your wicker baskets and picnic baskets and kind of have the cat, allow the cat to do that. And they love it more than anything else. My Charlotte is like a beaver. She loves those wicker baskets to take them totally apart. And I've it's not that I've given up. It's just I've surrendered them to her because she loves them. But that's instead of going and buying 10 different cat treats. I just says, just go for it. And she loves it. She does her claws. She's shredded them to bits at this point.
Of course.
She absolutely loves that.
And they're not expensive. So you don't mind if she shreds one up, just go get another one.
Yeah. It's look at what you've got. I've got a big wicker chest that's in the living room that I keep all the blankets in, the couch blankets when you're watching your Netflix movie and there's nothing on top of it. And it's right under a really big picture window. So I was like, I need to stick a couple cat beds on that or blankets or whatever they'll lay on. So I put a couple, they're just as happy as can be. Yeah. You don't have to go buy a bunch of stuff. I do have cat trees, but I think they spend more time on the things that I repurposed than they do on the things I bought.
They will, because they like being just a little bit naughty or very naughty, depending on your cat, but they enjoy that sort of like, and then looking at you thinking, are you disapproving? Is this okay?
Can I do this? Right.
What's fun that I used to do? I haven't done it in a long time. I used to go to the dollar store and get feather dusters.
Yeah.
Honey, throw it on the floor. They will have the best party. There will be feathers everywhere that you will have to clean up, but it is so worth it for that party. When you see them partying on those feathers,
right?
It is good for a buck. Yes. I used to do it like every couple of months. Like, okay, it's feather day. Here you go.
So also depending on where you live, one thing that my cats really enjoy playing with are pheasant feathers. So the back feathers off a pheasant. Now I don't go and pluck them off pheasants.
Sure.
Don't get. I'm not an animal.
We're gonna get comments.
Don't write to us. Don't write to us.
I don't do that.
Yes.
But they do lose their feathers naturally, or when in this country you find them at the butchers, and so you get grab the feathers. And my friend always just gives me some of the pheasant back feathers, the really long ones, and they love playing with that. It's better than any cat toy, except maybe the cat dancer, which
I was going to bring
Rachel
that
Geller
up.
recommends.
Yes, that is the most brilliant cat toy ever. Somebody made themselves rich out of this $2
and cheap. Yeah.
My cats love that thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh yeah, they love that. That's their favorite. I mean, Charlotte will even like bring it upstairs and downstairs. She'll be like demanding to play with that thing. But
that's what Sweetie Pie does. She carries it around with her. If I'm not playing with it, she'll play with it by herself. Or bring it to me so that I'll play with her.
Yep.
That's cute. And the other thing they like, funny enough, so I like Harry Potter too. So I've got a few magic wands from Dumbledore and Snape and all that. They actually like playing with the wand. I just start tapping the wand on the floor. They both love it.
I've done that.
That's awesome. They should do that when they break the end off of the fishing pole toys. I got a wand
got
left, right?
Cat hair on my nose. Imagine that.
How would that happen? I don't know anything about that.
I have a pin. I'm not wearing it now. It's on my jacket. I have a pin that says cat hair don't care.
Yeah.
Yes.
I need to
love
hang
it.
that on my wall in the living room.
No
right?
kidding. Yeah. Everywhere I go, there's 12
I
cats
have
and a
lint
small
rollers,
dog.
but it's when you have a white long hair cat. I mean, she's calico, but a lot of white long hair.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to get it all off.
Sure.
Or
Yeah.
black
I don't
suits.
really even bother unless I'm going to church or a funeral or somebody's wedding or something really fancy. Otherwise, I'm like, yes, I am covered in cat hair. I have 12 cats and a small dog. Just keep moving, right?
Yeah.
Well, even when I go visit my parents, they have 5 dogs. So, I have cat hair or dog hair on me or both.
Yeah, well, I only have
Yeah.
2, but even so, when you have a big fluffy long hair, I call her my fluff bomb, because even after I vacuum, it's like there's an explosion of her fur everywhere, and everywhere she goes, it's like that Peanuts cartoon, except instead of dirt and dust, it's her
Big pen.
fur flying
Yes,
everywhere.
all around. Yes, exactly.
And I do brush her, but she just kind of
I
all year
have
long.
3 that are long haired, fluffy like that. But my sweetie pie, she's my calico. She's a dilute calico, and she has a lot of white, long haired white. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. When I come to visit Rita, she's always like, look, I'm sorry about, and I'm like, do you know who you're talking to?
Well, at first you didn't have 12 cats when you were coming to see me.
No, probably had 7 or I had 8 at my highest before my daughter moved back in with her 4. And
What
then
is
I
with the
said,
hair
that's it. I had no intention of having 11 cats. And then there was a stray hanging out in my backyard that I was trying very hard to not see. I don't see it. And my son and his girlfriend went outside to visit it, and it jumped on their shoulders. And I was like, I'm done. 12. That's great.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah, a
remember
lot of
when
cats.
Linda, when she first started getting cats, and we've known each other for years. We used to work for Richard Simmons, but we weren't really close yet, friends like we are now. And she wasn't working with me, but she was starting to get cats. And I remember she sent me a private message, and she's like, I don't tell everybody this, but I have 4 cats, and I really need some advice. I'm like, 4? Lightweight. At that time, I had 20.
Yeah, which
20.
is ridiculous now.
Yeah, that's
She's
my
had as
high.
many as
Actually, I have
21.
21 at one point, but I don't go any higher. I'm actually not taking any more in right now. Because it's
You live
hard.
on a
A lot
farm
of
or
my
something?
cats are getting older now.
No,
I did rescue volunteer for years, and I ended up with a lot of unadoptable cats that way.
Mhm. Yeah. And then they call like Scooter that just passed, him and his sister Missy. She had lost 2, and she gets a call from the shelter. I told her to quit posting when her cats pass on Facebook, because she gets a call from the shelter. We know you lost 2, and we have a sibling couple here that their human mom died, and they're just languishing and they're going to die. And that's all she needs. And she's off.
Yeah, well, they know
one
me
of her-
because my mom runs the Humane Society here in Lancaster,
Yeah.
South
Right.
Carolina, so they know me. Unfortunate or
Cat that was
fortunate.
found at 3 weeks old in a ditch and had a dangly leg, and they were going to euthanize her. And she's like, no, you're not. I'm
Oh,
coming to
she's
get
here.
her. Well, let me take her brother too, because she's going to have to be isolated for a while. But yeah, she's got she's got a nice large home,
Yeah.
but it's not a farm or anything. But yeah, they all get along really. I mean, you always have those normal siblings,
Sure.
but for the most part, yeah, they really get along and do well, and have, she's got kind of upstairs cats, downstairs cats, a bed cat, where they kind of congregate.
They
and
all
make
have
own
their
little
places
colonies.
they prefer to hang out. I've got
Yes.
2 that are still semi-feral, although Picasso's coming around a lot. But Brownie, she's my cat's cat. So if I'm in the living room too long, she likes to trade rooms with me. She'll come out and peek at me and like, okay, I know I need to trade rooms with you. You get the living room, I go to the bedroom. I know.
Exactly.
All right.
Tell us about your cats,
Exactly.
Justin. I know you have 2 cats.
Yeah. So I have 2 cats, Emily and Charlotte. Emily is going to turn 11 in May. So in a couple of weeks here, she's in, or maybe 3 weeks. I don't know what date it is.
Wow.
It's the
It
15th.
sneaks up on
So
you.
yeah, so
doesn't it?
in about a month, she's turning 11.
Oh.
And Charlotte is 8, but she'll turn 9 in September.
Mhm.
And Emily is a domestic short hair. So I don't, I have nothing against breeds and all that, but
Right.
but I prefer the mixed, the moggies as we call them here. I prefer
Sure.
Yeah.
she's a domestic short hair, particularly beautiful. She looks like an owl. She's got giant eyes and she's got all the she's got a white, I call her Tootsie Roll. She's got a white bottom on the bottom half and black and and all the
like a
normal
Tootsie Roll
things
and a
that a short
wrapper.
hair has.
Yes.
And but she's great because what she has is a wonderful little feature is on her chest, which is white, she has a little tuft of the fur like it's on the back.
Oh.
And it's in the shape of a heart. So it's really, really adorable. And on the back, she has a little tuft of white fur, not in the shape of a heart, but a little tuft of white. So that's a really cute little feature that she's
a designer. I mean, I'm like, this is something I'd look for in a sweater, right? Oh, and look, then they coordinated, right? Like a designer really worked on this cat.
And she's really intelligent. She's really smart. She meows. She likes to go outside, but my cats are indoor cats. So they scratch at the door and we go out together in the garden for a half hour, like we did today. And then they come in with me. Or they actually go in first, and then I'm like, oh, okay, it's time to go in.
Yes, they let you know when it's time to come in.
They let me know usually. Sometimes if it's urgent, then I'll tell them. But they're smart enough to know. Like if I just say, Charlotte, let's go inside, and if I say it a couple times, she'll just go in on her own. She knows, she understands the English. But but so that's Emily, and she's just great. It just adopted her from a family that was getting rid of a litter and all that. And it was really fate because it was on our version of Craigslist. So in the UK, it's called Gumtree. I don't know if it still exists because this was a good 11 years ago.
Right.
But there was the videos of the cats that the woman posted. And I said, look, if that cat likes us, because like you, I was with someone at the time. Now I'm not. But when I saw the cat, or actually no, I think I'm dating someone now, so I shouldn't specify. But
apologies.
I'm not living.
Yes,
I'm not living with someone, and in cohabiting in a house. So
yes.
So the thing is that when we went to go get us, if Emily will like us, that's the one from the video, and if she doesn't, then we'll take one of the other ones who likes us. So, but sure enough, it was fate.
Aww.
She liked us both, so we're like, we're having that one. That was predetermined because she just had this look. I still have the picture. She and the videos. She has this look, this like Puss in Boots, like from the movie.
Yes, I got it.
She just had that look about her. And Charlotte came 2 years later because my ex's colleague had a neighbor that was getting rid of 2 litters because there were 2 cats, and both females had litters. So there were 10 kittens to get rid of. But this guy was such a D that he was getting rid of the kittens and the actual cats. It's almost like he's like, I'm like, well, why get rid of the mothers? Anyway, it was whatever. And so they were getting rid of the lot. I would have taken them all, but the capacity wise and, the partner at the time just wanted one. And I kind of had in mind to get a ginger cat, like a ginger boy cat. But like I advise people, you let the cat choose you.
Yes, yes.
And so we went there. None of the cats were giving us the time of day. None of them were hostile or anything, but they weren't really interested in us. Certainly the ginger was walking away, except Charlotte was particular. This little tiny thing was really, really interested and gave us the lick and gave us the whole thing.
Sure.
Like that's the one. And the cutest thing happened when we went to go back to go pick her up and take her home, because we adopted her prematurely because it was an urgent adoption.
Sure.
So she was only 6 weeks old, which is way too early. But so she was, she could actually sit with her butt right there on my hand.
Aww.
Now she's this big.
Yeah, exactly.
She was like a large tarantula. And so we went to go get her. The mother, who I would have loved to adopt as well, the mama cat, we brought the carrier, put it down and played with them just to, show, grabbed little Charlotte by the neck, carried her into our carrier, deposited her in there to say, I'm happy that you're adopting this kitten.
So
you're going to make me cry.
I've never seen that happen before.
Baby.
I didn't know that was possible, but how adorable is that? I would have taken the mother too, but it was just, it was so adorable. And
we always say, trust the cat's instinct. If the cat doesn't like your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, walk away.
Yeah,
Walk
I had a date like
away.
that. What was it? 3 years ago. Had a date, and the cats is a deal breaker if they don't like you. So
Yes,
so
ma'am.
we came to my house to have tea, and we're sitting at the dinner table, and all of a sudden, both of them are hissing.
Whoa.
And you said, sorry, baby,
and they're not
bye-bye.
hissers. My cats are not big hissers.
That's the end of that date.
It's pretty rare that they hiss at all. And so I was like,
a hiss is an involuntary action. That's not like growling or get away from me. That's like, you're giving me anxiety. I'm scared of you. So I'm really glad you like listen to that.
Yeah. So the point is they don't hiss often. It's very rare that they do it. And so I was like, right. So I'm sorry. It's a deal breaker. There won't be a second date because my cats hate you,
No! They made it clear.
And how did he react to that?
And I've been with them for 8-9 years. I'm not going to trade that loyalty for some person I just met. So forget it. Yeah. And so that was that. And yeah. So that's the story of my cats. And then of course people always ask me. So I'm going to preempt this question, where the names come from and if they come from the Bronte sisters of English literature fame.
Of course they do.
Emily and
Charlotte and Emily Bronte.
And there was also Anne Bronte and a brother named Bramwell. But actually, no, that's not where the names come from, because when Emily first came, we were looking at different names. Sophie was an option, among other things. And just Emily was just, I looked at her and she felt like an Emily. So I named her Emily. And she also responded to it pretty well. Like, it's almost like, maybe in a past life, she was a human.
There you go.
Emily, if you believe in that kind of stuff.
There you go.
Charlotte came a few years later. And I guess maybe the name options, one of the name options came because of Bronte, but she's really named after the French pastry. Because again, remember, I'm half French and my ex was full French, 100%. So we named her after the pastry because of the cream, the white on the bottom and the calico on top looks like the tarts with the berries. And
my gosh.
So because she was so tiny and she fit there, she looked like a little Charlotte, like you could have at the patisserie.
Ooh. Ooh, he's speaking French already. Hold on.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. I can speak as a French.
I assume you are fluent.
Yeah. I'm a French citizen as well as British and American.
Awesome.
So
we have to take a short break, Linda. So hold that thought and we'll be right back. We're back with 19 Cats and Counting, Cat Lady Justin, and my co-host Linda Hall, who was just about to say something when we had to pause for break.
Well, I love an accent. I love other languages. My daughter's husband was Mexican, and when he spoke Spanish, she had no idea what he was saying. He was probably saying, "You annoy me," and whatever. But he'd talk, and her face would get red, and she'd just be like,
mesmerized.
French is better. I'll bet you can get some dates.
As long as he didn't say words like pendejo and gringo.
Yeah,
I speak
we
Spanish,
know those. Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
yeah, we know those. There were a couple that he used to fly around that we didn't know. And he was getting surgery once and his brother was up there. And I said, what is that phrase that he always says that he won't answer? And Nikki remembered what it was. And Robert looked at us and said, monkey want a banana?
So see, you can make anything sound good in another language.
Yeah.
Well, I don't always tell people what languages I speak because sometimes it's interesting to spy on them and hear them talking and saying what they say when they don't quite understand that I actually understand everything they're saying because I speak 6 languages. And so sometimes I'm like, and in Europe, that's especially useful because I live in the United Kingdom. And so, you run into the German, the Spanish, the Italian, and it's like, it's really interesting when they don't think what they're saying, but you actually do know what they're saying.
Yes.
Didn't that happen to us at a restaurant with Sebastian?
Yeah. We took Sebastian and Nikki to a
Mexican
restaurant. And no, I'm sorry, my daughter and her then husband. And we took them to a Mexican restaurant. And he sent his dish back for something and they were talking, in Spanish. And of course they had no idea. And he was pretty light. I mean, you could tell he was Mexican, but it wasn't. And plus there are a lot of Mexicans around that don't speak Spanish. Right. So they had no idea. At the very end of the meal, he goes up by the kitchen and he starts speaking Spanish, telling them that he heard every word they said and blah, 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 blah. And we were dying laughing. It was so funny.
Yeah, they were making fun of him because he sent the dish back for being fatty, and they said it's pork. What do you expect? Anyway.
Yeah. So they're
But you know
about
what's
to,
funny is that reminds me of a story when I was younger, I used to work at Disneyland, right? And at one point, I was in the back doing whatever in the management office and in retail in the stores, and one of my employees, who was a Mexican American woman who looked the part, came back to get me because she spoke not a word of Spanish, and she said, "We have a guest in the store, and they want something, but I don't speak Spanish, so could you come out and help them?" So I come out, and I'm like, I speak to them, whatever, and then I look at her and I said, "They just want a fridge magnet." So they want one of they want a Mickey Mouse, fridge magnet that's cute, and then they started laughing like crazy because they're like, "Here's this, skinny white boy.
Right?
The skinny white boy speaks Spanish,
but he's
and
fluent.
the typical looking Mexican lady,
the brown lady doesn't speak a word." And that's what they said. And they're like, "That's really funny." So I'm like, I'm glad I could help you and make you laugh.
Yes, I want to get onto what you do, but I need to know what 6 languages all you speak. So obviously English and French and
so
cat.
English.
And cats.
And so English and French. I also speak German and Italian and Spanish, as well as Hebrew.
Oh wow, that's
That's
amazing.
quite I took 2 years of French. I still can't speak a word of it.
Well, my mother's French, so I have to.
Well,
I spoke
I'm
French
sure
before I spoke English. So
that, yes,
wow,
yes,
right.
that's that's good when you're raised in that. And then Sebastian's mother didn't speak a word of English, so when we were at his house, the language. But so you've got the Kitty Boss on Facebook. You have a private group where people can come in and you can help them. Is that the basic, and
how do we get in this private group? Are we in the group?
Okay, so the Kitty Boss is a fantastic little private group, and we originally it was public, but then we had a couple people who were a bit spammers and questionable, so we're like, no, we're gonna make it a private group, not have any trolls in there. It limits the growth a tiny bit, but that's better because the quality's there, and then I don't have to worry. I don't have to babysit the damn group. So Dr. Rachel Geller, the behaviorist, is in there. There's somebody really wonderful in there named Vibeke Seymour. She's actually a pet bereavement specialist because ostensibly we live longer than our pets, our cats. And so at some point, if it's challenging to deal with, and it always is, but if it's especially challenging to deal with, you can get professional help from somebody I know. And
we've had
highly recommend. And
we've had one of those on our show. Yeah.
It amazes me that, and how amazing, because we all
need it. You might want to actually have Vibeke Seymour on your show.
I was thinking that,
I'll connect you guys. Thank you guys. So much. But
Sounds great.
I just have to send you an invite if we connect on Facebook and you're in. Yeah. It's called The Kitty Boss. Yeah. You can find it through just searching it, I hope, because I think I made it searchable. But I also have a Kitty Boss, Facebook page, which is, generally at Cat Lady Justin, the Kitty Boss.
I've got that right up here.
Yeah. So you can find that and link to the group in there. Request, I'll approve you if you,
Well, I was going to say, I did click to join today. So I'm waiting.
Okay, cool. Oh, okay. I'll go do it as soon as
I'll go join it.
I'm to do it now. I got my phone here, but yeah. So we do things like if you scroll down, there's probably 200 posts of everything from teeth to grooming to PKU, the kidney disease that Persian cats have a tendency to get. So there's you post on everything at this point, and also celebratory posts. It's not just educational crap, it's also really stuff about celebrating cats. So there's some celebratory posts, and I encourage people to post the joys of their cats and their lifestyle. And then of course, occasionally somebody asks a question that's important to them that they need the answer to, and whether it's me or Dr. Rachel Geller or somebody else answers the question, because of course the tribe, if you will, have a lot of answers. It's not just about me being the Kitty Boss, hail Kitty Boss. It's about all of us being, what I like to call meow mentors. So we're all meow mentors.
I love that.
So that's what I call our
it's like your own little clouder. Well, and it looked like a very safe place looking through the, because we see that when we do behavior sessions, people are hesitant to mention how many cats they've got. People are hesitant to come on with their spouse who happens to be same sex. People are hesitant. And, that's something that's really been bothering us, and we have gone to great lengths to make our website LGBTQ friendly. And you know, we don't want anybody to be afraid to seek help, because if you don't seek help, then what? You live in misery, or you rehome or euthanize your cat. I can't.
The cat ends up in a shelter and doesn't make it because, you know, what's the number, Linda? How many cats?
134,400 cats are surrendered to U.S. shelters alone every year for behavior
issues.
That's horrible. And that's why Dr. Rachel does what she does. And
exactly.
and it's
we love
it's
her.
Another interesting thing, like that you say that, because I say I love people, but I love cats more. And so, for example, there's this situation, whatever you want to call it, going on in Eastern Europe at the moment.
Oh,
this conflictual relationship. And we have a little store in my in the town. I live in Nottingham, England. Just so you know, I live in the home of Robin Hood, right?
Yes.
And in the town, there's a little shop set up to give things, to make donations to people in the Ukraine. Now, I don't particularly trust the news, or I'm not the kind of credulous, naive person that just buys anything that's on the mainstream media.
Agree.
But again, I'm not judging someone who does. That's absolutely fine if you think everything that they say is true. But I am skeptical. But to me, that's irrelevant, because there's one thing that I know for sure, and that is that there are human beings who are suffering, and a grandmother should not be receiving shrapnel and bullets into her leg. And my friend has his grandmother in Kiev who received a bullet in her leg. Now, I don't think he's lying. I really don't think so. And I know that's not right. I also know it's not right for people and animals to be displaced from their homes and under threat. So without worrying about the politics and the news and all that stuff that is questionable, debatable, that people always have an issue with, I just make donations of cat food to that, so that because they need a lot of pet food. So that way I know that at least the pets are taken care of.
Sure.
These citizens, and especially the pets, are not the ones who set this into motion or are retaliating with it, right? You know, these are innocent people, and especially the animals. And I love that you said, I heard you say that on the podcast with Dr. Rachel Geller, and I wrote it down. I love people, but I love cats more. I was like, yes, my kind of guy. I love this.
Totally. And what's going on in the Ukraine and all the pets being displaced? I know that Dr. Marty Becker just went over there to try to help out. There's a lot of people trying to help the pets over there.
And I think, and like I said, it's one of my I got the idea because one of the mentors I work with, not with cats, but in marketing and business and all that, is has a phrase that he likes to use. I love you. I may not like you, but I love you. And he explains that by saying, I love all people. I love humanity. I emanate love. I am.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean I want to hang out with you and spend time with you, because I don't like you.
Right.
Well, for whatever reason, but I love you. I'm not judging you. I just don't want to hang out.
Yeah.
And so I kind of got the idea from that, saying that, I do love people. I'm not this antisocial, monster and recluse, although I'm a bit of a recluse, but I'm not antisocial. But the truth is I love cats more.
Yeah.
It's just the truth. Yeah. Everywhere I go.
They're more honest and upfront. They're not going to give you any kind of bull. I was raised with dogs. Well, Rita and I both were, because my mom and her dad were both allergic to cats. So we both had a similar experience here. And so after growing up with dogs and getting a cat, I just love, they're just like we try to tell people, there are no naughty cats. Like, no cat, I swear to you, no matter what you think, there has never been a cat that peed in your shoe because he was mad at you.
No.
Okay.
That's not
why he peed in your shoe. He may have been anxious. It may be related to you, but it's not resent. It's not spite. It's not naughty. Cats do what they do out of instinct, and they always are cat, right? There's no two-faced. There's no hidden agenda.
No,
they're just cats.
They're just honest
on every level, because I like to deal with different levels of, I don't like to rule things out. In other words, it's so if you look at just the mechanical level, the medical, the biology, the chemistry of cats and all that, I find that very interesting. The pheromones, the behavior, and all of that, scientific stuff, I think is really important. but there's also the spiritual side of things, the energy side of things, the side of things that's a bit ethereal and ephemeral and difficult to describe. And so, for example, I was receiving a Reiki treatment once. For some people who don't know, Reiki is this Japanese energy medicine where they hover their hands over you and somehow things are healed and helped. I don't know exactly how. I'm not an expert in it. I had a Reiki master come in, set up her massage table in my living room and start doing the thing. And it worked. It helped. It helped me to feel a tremendous amount better. The thing is the cats kept coming in and jumping on me. And I'm like, and not letting us, start the session. So I asked her, I was like, what's up with that? They normally aren't like this. And she's like, well, actually, cats are healers. They sense where there is negative energy, and they like to come and heal it. And one thing she said was interesting, which I would have never guessed or thought of. That's something I'd never known. I knew they were healers because, of course, the purr has healing frequencies and has been scientifically proven to reduce cortisol levels, to lower stress levels. There's even a website called purrly.com, which is just a purring, and you can adjust the different levels of how the purr goes. So your computer, your phone can start purring at you. So and even there's an audio for ambiology pet waves, which has taken the purr frequency and transformed it into something that's healing and calming for humans and pets. But I'm not selling that stuff because it's not my products, but I love them. But what the point is I know that scientifically, but what I didn't know, which she taught me, is that female cats tend to dissipate the energy and let it go. Male cats have a tendency to hold on to it, which is one reason why male cats tend to have a little bit more health problems than female cats.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like, I didn't know that. And this was from a Reiki man. Whether she's right or wrong, I don't know, but she's a Reiki master. And from her perspective in that energy work, that's what she was telling me. So on every level and every perspective, historical, Egypt, they love cats, isn't they?
Yeah. Got my little Bastet sitting here. Yes.
It's just a creature that is remarkable. And I have tried to find out, and maybe because I don't know, I don't have the answer to this. Is there another creature on this planet that sits there and emits a sound that is healing to human beings?
I don't think so.
Not that I am aware of. And I've done a lot of research into this. So my daughter, Nikki, who's 33, has had a seizure disorder for years. She has been a neurologist all over the place. She's had two of, with the little things all over your head and do all the stuff. Medications, a loop recorder planted in her chest. She's had it all. Nothing will fix these seizures. So one day she was over here. She wasn't living with me at the time. And she came in and she actually sat in this chair and she said, I'm going to seize. It's starting to get warm. She always gets, it's very, very predictable. And when it seizes, it's so bad. And she has this postictal state where she's like drunk and you can't make sense out of her and she wants to drive. I mean, it's really, really bad. Okay. So my cat Kismet, who I didn't want to adopt, but somebody kept pushing it until I did. He was unadoptable because he's FIV positive, and Rita didn't have room. So she foisted him on me, and
I had 20 at the time.
I am not the least bit sorry for it. But Kismet jumps up on her and is looking in her eyes, and he starts purring louder than I've ever heard him purr. And he starts putting his paws on her. I mean, it was a weird experience. And I'm just sitting there. He stopped it in its tracks. And it's not the only time he's done it since I.
And it's been more than once he's done
that. But afterwards, he gets very tired. And so you saying that the male cats hold it and the female cats dissipate,
that makes total
perfect sense. When you said that, I was like, light bulb, because it's like he takes it on himself. And I've seen him do this more than once, and he'll just put paws and just purr, and it's weird.
I'm not surprised.
We've heard other people give these kind of anecdotal experiences too.
I mean, my cats tuck me in at night generally, so I'll go in bed, and one of them, like because they both sleep with me, that's a requirement,
Well, of course.
But no, some people absolutely abhor that, and they lock them out of the room. I'm like, what? Are you insane? I can't fall asleep without. If I have to go somewhere, travel, and go in a hotel, I have trouble sleeping.
Exactly.
But anyway, so one of them will come up. And they have different habits. So Charlotte will like to lay on my chest and receive her petting, and she'll purr a little. She has a very light purr, and as soon as she senses that I'm fading, like I'm falling asleep, she gets up and goes to where she likes to sleep, which is at the foot, at my feet, and she goes into sleep. So she's tucking me in. Emily has her habit, which is she likes to come and spoon. So she likes to sit and put her hands up so she can get chest and belly rubs and all of that, and look at me like this with her eyes. It's adorable. But again, it's the same thing. Once I fade out and I'm sleeping, she goes and goes back to her little,
They put you to
place.
sleep like mommies and daddies
They
singing
tuck
to
me
the
in.
babies at night. I'm like really touched by this. Oh my gosh,
So my
I
cats
love it.
tuck me in at night, and it's really cute. And sometimes they wake me up in the morning. Like today, I don't know, for some reason I didn't sleep that well last night, so I slept in. And Emily, Charlotte can wait. She can probably eat. She could probably skip a whole day fast and not worry about it. She's chill. But Emily, she gets hangry. And so she'll come up on the bed, but she's very gentle about it. And she'll be like, meow, meow. And then no claw, but she'll like,
Hey,
open
Dad.
the eye.
Hey, Dad. Yeah.
Open the eye,
Did you forget something? Right?
Yeah. Hey, Dad.
And you can't resist when she does that because she's so gentle.
Yeah.
Emily never uses claw. Like even when she's hanging on here, wherever, the claws don't come out. Charlotte doesn't quite understand. She claws everything, but not on purpose, not to draw blood, but she just likes to hang out with the claw.
Yeah.
But Emily never takes the claw out. And so it's so adorable how gentle she is with that. I just can't resist her.
You so much.
My cats line up in the morning. It's like a train. They wait their turn to lay on me.
I took a picture once. It was hysterical. She's laying on her side. So there's a cat here and then a cat here and then a cat. And you can go all the way down. And then there's one at her feet and they are in line, like waiting for a ride at Disney.
There's an outline around me.
It's hysterical. I was like, this is weird, but okay.
That's adorable. That's not weird. That's amazing.
No,
I would give them all fast
politely waiting their turn. Exactly. Politely waiting their turns.
And they all get along too. I mean, you got squabbles here and there, but that's why when people tell me they've got two cats and they don't get along and I have to get rid of one. No. If I can get
you need to talk
20
to
to get
Rachel
along.
Geller.
Yes, exactly.
Because my two, of course, they have their squabbles once in a while, but they generally get along. They're okay.
Yeah.
But
we've helped many people who, the cat just won't. And it's like, okay, but it's, it's a recipe. I always say it's like making a cake. You can't just throw flour in the pan. It's a recipe and the people have to follow it and be a part of the plan. A lot of times they just want that magic pill. Like I want for weight loss. Is that out yet? Anybody? But,
Well, it is, but unfortunately, it has too many side effects that it might kill you.
Exactly.
I hate that we're running out of time.
I know,
Justin. So how can people find you and listen to your podcast and join your group?
The best way to do it is my podcast is called The Kitty Boss. It's everywhere. So it's on Apple, Google, Spotify, you name it. Just search Kitty Boss. You'll find it. The Kitty Boss. Sorry, The Kitty Boss. Kitty.
Yes.
Boss, and you'll find it. You can't miss it. It's got my face with Emily on my shoulder, so you can't miss it.
Good.
And and you'll see there's lots and lots of episodes, and I post not every day, but almost every day. I post little short ones, 5 minute, 10 minute, 2 minute, just a little thing about a cat topic, and then once a month I have my catching up with Dr. Rachel Geller, which goes for about 30 minutes. And
we love Dr. Geller so much.
And obviously you're going to come in as another guest, so that'll be really cool.
Wow, I like it. I like it a lot. Thank you,
so that's where they can find the podcast. And
awesome.
I think that's probably the best thing to do. I'm obviously at Cat Lady Justin on social media, Instagram, Twitter, but you name it, I'm on all of them. Find and connect. I do like talking to people. You can DM me and all that. I am not against that concept.
Awesome.
So if you connect with me on social media at Cat Lady Justin, it's great. And then you can. And then, of course, the best thing is, of course, the Kitty Boss Facebook group, because we've created a nice little safe space. I don't call it a clouder because I like to call us meow mentors, but it is sort of our clouder of meow mentors. And I think that's a really lovely thing.
It is.
And so I invite people to join us, but also, just connect, because I really am passionate about connecting with people one-to-one. So that really is nice to connect that way.
Sure.
But of course I can't connect with 1 million people one-to-one. So I also have the group thing going on.
Yep.
I see you have a website in progress too. You're going to have a website.
Thekittyboss.com is in progress. If you go to it now, it's coming soon. It's in progress. I'm hoping by the end of May, to launch possibly early June, which will be launching the book that I told you, the Kitty Boss
we
book,
can't
which
wait for the book.
details
So
all the
June.
different things. What it details specifically is how to pick, pamper, and protect your practically perfect pussycat for a lifetime of unconditional love.
I love that. Can we pre-order
Peter
your
Pepper
book yet?
picked a pickled peppers. No, that didn't come out right.
How
But
to
you
pick the
know,
practically
I don't know what
perfect
you just did
pussycat
there.
for you, how to protect your pet properly
Wonderful.
for that lifetime of unconditional love. And of course, the third one was how to pamper your pet so you imprint on each other. I
Yes.
mastered
that.
the alliteration, but yeah, you
I love
can't
it.
pre-order
The
it yet.
3 Ps.
I will definitely let everybody know through
Please
the
do,
groups and
'cause
social
we
media
get-
once it's available, but it's not available yet. And there'll be other things and other surprises when that launches. And I am
We love it. We
publishing
love
it
surprises.
myself rather than throwing it into Amazon,
Okay.
simply because I gotta pay for my family and my kitties and
We
me,
understand
and
that.
you can't do that through Amazon because they take like 70% of
They
We get it.
do.
We get it. We
My
get
book's
it.
on
Peanuts.
Amazon. I
But,
think
yeah.
I make $2 a book or something like that.
yeah it's
It's crazy.
ridiculous. So I don't bother. I just go and sell it myself.
Good.
and it's a lot better that way. It's also a lot better to connect with people because you get the
Sure.
Amazon and you're not connecting with those customers.
Yeah.
You can't help them, you can't
Yeah.
follow up with them, you can't say how you doing, did you get a cat? Because that's my goal is that book is, before you get your first cat and make a mistake and make the wrong moves and accidentally have this thing that hides under the bed and doesn't give you the time of day or scratches your children, before you do any of that, get the book. So I'll show you how to pick the practically perfect pussycat for you.
That's
And then the
wonderful.
rest
we
of it
can't
is
wait.
also-
Well, we will be sure to get that because
Definitely.
we love reading these. And then, we always take a tidbit from somebody. We always say, we don't know everything. Nobody knows everything.
Oh,
Anybody
yeah,
who
yeah.
tells you they know everything is a liar. And so, we're always picking things up from other people's books. And then we can, when we talk to our clients and our friends, we can say, I've got the book for you.
Yeah, but you know what? I agree with you 100% because I didn't invent cats.
Right.
I'm
You
not
didn't?
a cat behaviorist. I'm not a veterinarian. So where did I get all this information from? I'll tell you. I sifted, sorted, separated all that conflictual information on the internet, and I
Yeah.
save you the 10 to 15 to 20-year learning curve. I cut out all the junk that doesn't work, that's too expensive, that's questionable.
Love
and
it.
I'm only
Wonderful.
presenting what works, what you really, really, really need to have that downhill battle, that not battle, but that easy way to get a cat and have it potentially live to 30.
Yes. Yes.
that.
If we're blessed. Yes.
We have
I
to.
hate that we're out of time, but we love you
Yep.
so much. We just, what you're
You're
doing, for
welcome back
cats, everything. Yes.
anytime.
Yes. Something's coming up or, when your book's getting ready, whatever. Come on,
Come on
baby.
back.
Yes.
Awesome. And I
thank
can't
you.
wait to talk to you on the Kitty
Yay,
Boss.
Oh, we're
can't wait
excited. We're
either.
excited. You know
Yes.
where to find actually, we changed the address of our calendar. So Linda, can you send him,
Yep.
you're about to go out
Yep.
of town. I'll send him the new link.
Okay. Yep.
And Justin, thank you for being on our show. Don't forget, everyone, look for @Cat Lady Justin. Follow the Kitty Boss. Linda, as always, thank you for being my co-host.
Always.
I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Mark Winter, the founder of Pet Life Radio,
We love you.
for the awesome job he does producing our show.
He's amazing.
And until next time, don't forget, every day is Catter Day.
Thank
See
you.
you next time.